Joining us now on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline, he was just traded from Tulsa to Jackson in Double-A professional baseball, is Adam Law. Adam, welcome back to BYU Sports Nation, man.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
What has your life been like since the trade?
It's been a whirlwind and full of awkwardness, trying to meet new teammates and new coaches and get used to a new philosophy. But it's been, I'm excited to be where I'm at.
I've got to imagine when something like this happens, people who have been through it before try and help you out, give a little bit of advice. What's some of that advice you've received as you handle this transition?
The biggest advice that I've heard came from my father, who said, be seen and not heard, meaning that you show your teammates and as you try to get acclimated to the new system that you're there and you're working, but not necessarily to be acting like you know it all or talking too much, just to be seen and not heard, and then slowly you'll be able to open up and get to know the guys and be included a little bit better.
Adam Law with us on BYU Sports Nation in Double-A baseball, currently with the Jackson Generals. You go from the LA Dodgers organization now to the Seattle Mariners. What will you miss most about Tulsa and the Dodgers organization as you now flip the page and start a new chapter in your career?
I'll definitely miss my teammates and coaches and the relationships that I had an opportunity to build and be fulfilled with over the past 4 seasons. I've been with those guys since I first signed after the draft in 2013 and had tons of awesome memories and stuff. And it was tough to say goodbye to them, but I'm so happy for what happened and to be desired by the Mariners.
You know, Adam, it's not like you're all by yourself, though, with the Generals. Coach Littlewood's son, Marcus, plays for Jackson. How excited were you to know that you had a familiar face on the team?
When I first found out about the trade and I spoke with the Mariners and they said that they would assign me to Double-A, I knew exactly that's where one of my best friends, Marcus, is at. He and I have worked out together for the past 3 off seasons, and I wanted to surprise him and just show up in the clubhouse because the trade hadn't been out publicly yet, but I couldn't contain my excitement, so I had to call him in the airport and let him know that I was coming. He thought I was messing with him, but it was for real. And his wife Morgan's out here. It's just a really good situation.
Where were you when you found out, and what went through your mind when the news first reached you?
I was getting ready to board the bus. We were on a road trip in San Antonio, and I was getting ready to board the bus to go to the field, and the phone call came, and it was a front office personnel with the Dodgers who said, hey, we're trading you to the Seattle Mariners. And my heart about jumped up into my throat, and I got a big old adrenaline rush thinking, like, wow, what's going on? But that's kind of the situation it was, and definitely bittersweet during that time.
Adam, when do you play next? And beyond just when you play next, what are the Generals wanting to see from you? What are they asking you to do?
I've played the past 2 days ever since I got here, and we play again here in 6.5 hours. And kind of their thoughts about me was they like my versatility and they want to see me have lots of repetitions. It was tough where I was at in Tulsa. The roster was just jam-packed with talent, and I wasn't getting consistent opportunities. And so the Mariners saw, and I think that they like what I bring to the table, and they want to see some consistency. And they told me they want me to be a Mariner for a long time, which was really comforting to know that they have interest in me and have made this investment.
Adam Law, former BYU baseball star, now at the Double-A Jackson Generals, was just traded from the Tulsa Drillers, has played 2 games with Jackson, game number 3 tonight. We just learned that from him. What is the key to you taking that next step in your professional career, whatever that means, whether it's, a batting average goal or if it's taking the next step to Triple-A? What has to change? What has to get better?
I think just a consistent opportunity to go out and play. I haven't had that in the past year and a half. I've been playing on and off every other day, and it's tough to get in a groove when that's the case. And so hopefully now with this new organization who have, hinted towards having an opportunity to play every day, I think if I can take that and run with it and and continue to hit the ball well, make the plays, I think I have a good chance at being successful and hopefully obtaining my ultimate goal to play in the major league.
Adam, I know I saw you working out before spring training with the BYU baseball team. You were around the guys. How closely can you actually follow Cougar baseball while you're still trying to balance your own career?
I follow them every single day. I do my best. When we have a day game, I'll listen to the radio broadcast to be able to watch it on BYUtv, or when we have a night game and the Cougs play on the morning, have an afternoon game, I definitely tune in. I follow all the tweets and thankful for technology to be able to follow my friends and my fellow Cougars. But it's fun to watch, and they had such a great season this past year. I just wish they could have pulled out, those games in the conference tournament and finished and made it regional. But it is so much fun to be able to follow them.
Safe to say, though, with the amount of talent coming back, and you've got some new players coming in, whether it's off missions or out of high school, safe to say, though, you feel that the future of this BYU baseball team is extremely bright.
Yeah, definitely. Coach Littlewood and Coach Pratt, Coach Herring, the recruiting coordinator, and JT, they all do such a good job at not necessarily rebuilding, but they reload as well. And so it's fun to watch. Hopefully Kyle Dean can stay healthy, and some of the new arms that they have can perform for them just like they did last year. So it'll be fun to watch and follow.
Follow Adam Law on the Twitter machine at AdamLaw217. You tweeted us a little while back that you saw something really crazy in the minors. And we noticed it as well. Joe Mikulik, an opposing manager, at one point in a rant, in a tirade, he removed second base and punted the base. What was that like to be experiencing that game?
Oh, man, I think we all just sat in the dugout just in absolute awe of what had just happened. And it wasn't even what happened to play. It wasn't even a crazy, you could argue it, but it didn't merit that response. And I remember last year when I was on the show, you asked me the craziest thing that I had seen. And then when this happened, it blew anything else out of the water. He punted second base and he slid into second base. He's like a 6-year-old man, slid into second base 2 times. He kicked up all the chalk on the foul line, and we just sat there with our jaws dropped wide open. It was incredible.
Yeah, we'll find that video and tweet it out on our BYU Sports Nation account for all that have not witnessed the greatness of Joe Mikulik. And by the way, that's not the first time he has done that specifically. This guy has a reputation. Adam, we've been talking a lot about the best BYU football win over the last 5 years in Independence. We're going to take it to baseball and have you reminisce a little bit about your time in a Cougar uniform. What was the best individual win you experienced as a BYU baseball player?
Two come to mind. First was when we played at LSU, who was ranked second in the country, and it was Coach Littlewood's first year, my junior year, and we were up a couple runs, and they came back and walked us off in the bottom of the ninth, and so we knew we had some confidence that we could play with them. The following night, we came back and we whacked them pretty good. And that was just a big step for the program to really show that we can play with anybody. And I remember they gave us a police escort on the way out, and the fans cheered for us because kind of little-known BYU came in and walked all over the Tigers. So it's been fun. It's been fun to talk a little smack to the LSU guys that I play with and the other SEC guys because they think that, that's the real deal. And then second, I think, is honestly our dominance over the University of Utah. I think in my 3 years, we probably played each other, close to 15 times, and I can only remember one time that I lost to them. And so
wow.
Just going up there and walking all over them, and then them coming to our place and walking all over us, and us walking all over them, that's real special to be able to have that in-state rivalry. Definitely on our side.
You mentioned little-known BYU, how some people didn't realize that the BYU, could beat LSU or those types of things. When people find out that you played college ball at BYU, what's their reaction? What does the BYU baseball program What does it mean to people, when they find out that's where you went?
Probably the first question or reaction that I get is, "Oh, so you had to follow all those rules?" And when you're able to explain, that it's more of our lifestyle, not necessarily a change of life to follow the rules, but they're interested in the weather, climate, and how we do it in the snow during the winter and stuff. And so, it is tough. It's hard to recruit there, but I think there's a lot of athletes that are seeing the change and the opportunity that there is to win and to win soon. And so that's what I love to share about, is that even though we're not in a warm weather climate, we have the facilities to be able to get live at bats and to take ground balls and fly balls to help us prepare for the upcoming season.